Hello, and welcome to the Four Quarters of a Whole Idiot podcast. Once again, it's been like a month. I am one of your hosts, Noah, joined by my gracious co-hosts, Jay to my right on the screen. Jay,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm not too bad, Second week of the season. Excited.
Yeah, it's been good so far. We're gonna get into all of that, and Jay is an icebreaker for us, but we'll let him do that in just a second. We're also joined by bottom middle guy, Kev, Coach Kev, etc. How are you?
Bottom middle guy's doing pretty good, pretty decent. We're chilling over here.
Very nice. We are live on YouTube and Twitch right now, as normal. You could be watching/listening live right now. And then we're also up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, following the show. Usually the next day things go up. So however you're listening, thank you. We appreciate it. Jay, what is your amazing icebreaker? Let's hear it.
Yeah, alrighty. So, what is your favorite Sunday football snack to eat while watching football?
That's a good one.
There's so many good choices. Let's go to Kev. Oh no, you want to go first?
No. Sorry, you go first.
All
I
right, all
didn't.
right. Oh me, I was gonna throw it to Kevin.
Oh, okay. I'll take it then. Never mind. I'll take it. Yeah. Forget about Cap. So, my instant reaction is buffalo chicken dip. I've made it the last 2 Sundays. I found a recipe that's like healthier than normal. That's still like you wouldn't know the difference. So I've been kind of spamming that. I actually just had it again for dinner because I had leftovers. It's
Let's
delicious. Either that or just chips and queso. Can't beat queso. But
True.
that's mine.
I have to ask, what do you like to dip your buffalo chicken dip in, or like
Well,
what do you like to? Yeah.
Normally it's just tortilla chips, like out of the bag, but because I'm still just trying to be healthier, what I have been doing is I've taken these like carb balanced tortillas that are like high fiber, high protein, and what I did yesterday was I cut them into squares and sprayed a little cooking spray on them with salt and air fried them, and basically like made healthier tortilla chips. It was very easy to track that, and I got to still eat my calorie deficit because of those tortilla chips, and so I just ate that and buffalo chicken dip all day yesterday. So
That sounds pretty good.
it was good stuff. So that's mine.
Hell yeah. All right, Kev, what you got?
Buffalo chicken dip is an elite pick. I will respect that. I don't really have like a go-to, but nowadays Japanese peanuts. You got to get
Those
Japanese
things again.
peanuts from Mexico, and they are so good. I was snacking on them quite literally all day yesterday. I had breakfast, and then I think I ate probably half of this bag just watching NRG win Worlds, and then the Pats beat the Dolphins, and it was just an ongoing. It was my Sunday food all day.
Can you? I don't remember
Let's
if you've
go.
explained this. Can you explain what like the flavor profile of those things are?
So it's like a peanut that has like a little crunchy casing to it,
Okay.
and it's got just like the slightest hint of a spice to it. You don't even it's not hot or anything. It's just kind of there in the background. And they're a little bit salty too, but it's mainly that little background spice, and it makes them so addicting to just rip through.
Okay.
That sounds pretty good. Might have to
Try
try that.
Jay, it's
All
your
right.
icebreaker. What is
Yeah.
yours?
I'll also agree that buffalo chicken dip is an elite pick. Especially with pita bread, that's kind of my go-to for buffalo
Oh,
chicken dip. But to be original, have y'all seen like the 6-layer like taco dip?
oh, how can I
Oh.
forget? I want to change my answer. Oh my god.
That it is just it's so good. Like with the scoops tortilla chips,
Mm-hmm.
it's like cheese, refried bean, guacamole, salsa, more cheese. It's
Sour
just
cream.
so good.
Yeah, so I will actually change my answer. How could I forget 7-layer dip? I actually meant to get it last week when I had a bunch of family over for the first game, the first Patriots game, and I forgot to get it. and now I need to get it for this Sunday. So thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, glad I reminded you.
Alrighty. So y'all, we have a show for you, and I closed the agenda. No one on the stream can see it, but Kevin and Jay can see my screen. We have a show for you. We're going to talk about some stuff. Week 1 and 2 of the NFL season is in the can, and we are actually, as of tonight, wrapping up week 2 because Monday Night Football is happening as we speak. Right now, we got the Buccaneers and the Texans, and then we have the Chargers and the Raiders. So throughout the course of this show, we'll kind of just give some like cheeky little updates on what's going on, i.e., CJ Stroud just hit Nico Collins for a 29-yard touchdown pass, currently under review, and the review was upheld. Touchdown Texans. Congratulations, Texans fans. Nico
They
Collins,
needed
first touchdown
that
of the
one.
season, I'm pretty sure. So let's talk about teams that have gotten either a lot of touchdowns or not a lot of touchdowns. I'm going to swap over to the hollowed 3-person left screen on my stream software, and we're going to look at this together. Let's just look at the standing.
I mean, if you just, quickly rip it through this, I feel like the AFC East is kind of where people expected. The North is definitely not where people expected. The South, definitely not where people expected. The West, definitely not where people expected. I mean, the NFC, I think the NFC is a little more standardized if I'm remembering correctly. But there's, 2 weeks in, plenty of football to play. Things could be, yeah, I mean, these are more standard. These are kind of where we expected things to be falling. The NFC West all being 2-0 is kind of crazy that
I know.
they haven't had any real true division. I mean, they've had one divisional game, but I feel like a lot of the other divisions have already played 2 or 3 divisional games already. But I mean, plenty of football to play. The AFC is still plenty of time to kind of, even out to what we were expecting. But my God, this is all over the place. And I think the Cleveland Browns being 0-2 is the only one that we were really, truly expecting. And the Bills being 2-0.
Here. Hello? I think I fixed it. Could you guys on the in the call hear me that whole time?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I can hear you on the pod now too.
I don't know when I cut out, but I want to talk about the Colts is what I'm trying to say. The Indianapolis Colts are 2-0. A lot of people picked this team to be maybe the worst team in the league, amidst several things, including like quarterback controversy, Daniel Jones getting the start. And here we are. They're 2-0. They defeated the Dolphins, which teams didn't necessarily, or, people didn't necessarily rank the Dolphins super highly going to the season, but beat them decisively. And then they go ahead and beat the Broncos yesterday, which we need to remind ourselves. I think we collectively picked the Broncos to be an AFC, championship game contender.
Yep.
/ in the game. So
one of the best defenses in the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say a lot of it came from their first game against the Dolphins, but the Colts also have one of the better, if not the best, point differential right now. Like I said, a lot of it came because of that blowout of the Dolphins, but they have been playing impressive football.
Let's see. They are currently leading the NFL in point differential, plus 26 right now. What a surprise it's been for Daniel Jones over here. This is when you play a team like the Dolphins, he had a good stat line, and that was great and all. I forgot to plug this part. We always do our starts and sits on our website. I actually said to not start Daniel Jones this week, and I thought it was for a good reason, playing against the Broncos, but he actually put up a great stat line against the Broncos as well in that game. He played very well. He definitely wasn't carried to that victory. So Daniel Jones right now on the season, 588 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and I think he has 3 rushing touchdowns between his 2 games so far.
Yeah, as of right now, he's, I think, the number 2 fantasy quarterback.
Yep.
Like, he's off to a great start in Indianapolis.
This is already his 3 rushing touchdowns are the second most in a season in his career already in 2 games with the Colts. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, and that's funny. He only has 28 rushing yards, but the season, I think it was 2022. He had his best season. I think the Giants made it to the wild card and maybe even won that wild card game. And that was the season he really started using his legs. So if he can really get going with that, he's gonna look for fantasy purposes like one of the best options out there until someone stops him. So I'm all for it.
I think you're right. I think that was the year where they beat the Vikings in Minnesota, right? And everyone was like, what a throw by the Vikings.
That might have been it, yeah.
Yep, that's correct. That is it, 2022 versus the Vikings. Yep, that was the one decent season the Giants had record-wise with Daniel Jones out there, So
I guess the real question is, was it Daniel Jones or was it the Giants? Like, can Jones keep this up?
That's the question. This is, we've had a couple of seasons where we've had a breakout quarterback where we thought they were just actual buns, and then they leave whatever situation they're in, and suddenly they're, somewhere in like the top 15 or more. We've seen it with Geno Smith, Sam Darnold last season. I know there's other examples that aren't springing to mind immediately, but
Baker Mayfield.
That's probably the biggest of them all. That is the biggest of them all. Good poll. Yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield has resurrected his career in Tampa Bay, currently playing against the Texans. What's that score right now? 7-0. Bucky Irving to the right for 6 yards.
We like that.
So,
we like Bucky Irving.
So, no, exactly. So I'm all for it. I love the Danny Dimes meme, but I'm actually genuinely rooting for this team. I was so excited to watch the Colts win that game. Regardless of how they got that win, the penalty on the field goal against the Broncos that helped them, whatever. I don't care. Win is a win. Go Colts.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
What a game. What a game.
Yeah, I think the real thing we have to highlight, I mean, they made the Dolphins look like a high school team. And, you could attribute that. We could be sitting here, maybe the Dolphins go 3-14 over the season. And we're like, yeah, they were just shit. But the Broncos have had one of the best defenses in the league for a couple seasons now.
Yep.
And they still, by all means, I don't, was there any turnovers at all by Indianapolis? I don't think so, right? Was there?
Danny Dimes, at least.
Yeah, I don't think so. Jonathan Taylor played a fantastic game too, by the way.
Team stats, let's see. Turnovers, am I missing this? Turnover, 0. Only turnover in the game was an interception from Bo Nix.
So the Colts have, through 2 weeks, not once punted or turned the ball over. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I know, you can beat up on one team. But just the fact that they set an NFL record by scoring on every drive against the Dolphins is crazy, because how many teams should have already done that? Why did not the 2007 Patriots do that? Why didn't the 2013 Broncos, 2015 Panthers, these insane super teams that were just beating the shit out of everyone? Why haven't they done it? And then the goddamn Indianapolis Colts go and do it. And then they do it again against one of the best defenses. It's crazy what they're doing.
So to add on to the Carfax, the Colts have the second most yards per game in the NFL right now, only behind the Bills.
By 9 yards total.
Yeah, that's crazy. Defensive side of things, they are top 5. They're 5th in yards allowed, 267.5. So,
Good.
off memory, I'm pretty sure the next game up for the Colts is the Titans. So they have a
Another possible beatdown.
So they should be 3-0.
In
Yeah.
theory. It is their first away game. I'm pretty sure.
That's true.
Let me confirm. Yep. So, we'll see. We'll see. I can tell you for a fact, as someone who rosters Daniel Jones and JJ McCarthy in my main fantasy football league, Daniel Jones is getting the call this upcoming week because JJ McCarthy was
hot garbage.
He looked like a rookie quarterback. He's played one good quarter of football, and that was enough. After week 1, I'm getting off track. That was enough for me to want to start him in week 2. But yeah, Danny Dimes getting the call week 2 for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the Colts. Let's go to the other side of things. Let's talk about an 0-2 team. Let's talk about the current AFC champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. 0-2 on the season. Refresher for people: they lost on last Friday in Sao Paulo, Brazil, to the Chargers, 27-21. And then they lost the Super Bowl rematch to the Eagles, 20-17 yesterday. I guess we'll do this for all the teams we want to cover, but in terms of total offensive yardage per game, the Chiefs are eyeball glance somewhere in like the bottom 14 or so in the league. Great.
Yeah.
And then defense-wise, they are
a little higher.
They're somewhere in like the top 12 or so. 14 or so, and so let's talk about the Chiefs. They're 0-2, last place in the AFC West right now. What's going on here? Is it just a matter of the schedule situation?
I think maybe a little bit, and they're not winning these one-score games anymore. I mean, they won what, like 12 one-score games last year, something insane like that. Like,
I'm just watching. Kevin's smile just grew 3 sizes. Bro looked like the Grinch for a second. No, this is exactly what we talked. Yeah, we talked about this when we tier listed the AFC teams. What, didn't the Chiefs finish 15-2 last season?
15-2.
Yeah.
So here we are. Let's look at some things here. Patrick Mahomes, 445 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I know he's done a bit of rushing this season, 123 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. That's quite a bit.
Notably leads the Chiefs in rushing yards.
There's some things to be said about the situation with the Chiefs. Of course, Rashee Rice is suspended and won't be available until, week 7 or 8, something like that. Xavier Worthy is injured and is going to be out for an unknown amount of time. Unknown to me. I don't remember. Does anybody know?
No. Let's see.
He's looking good to play week 3, according to Ian Rappaport.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the severity. Shoulders are weird, especially for a receiver. Mm-hmm. Some you can tough out. Some you if it was a knee, you're not running on that. But shoulder, maybe you can just kind of ignore it. So, I do want to point out that this is exactly what I said was going to happen. They can't keep getting away with it.
No, take your victory lap. Go ahead.
They, a bit of an overreaction. It is week 2. Like I said, plenty of football to play, but this makes me very happy as a Chiefs hater. The Eagles, very good team, but you get them at home. Should you be winning that game, especially as an AFC reigning champion? Probably, if you're supposed to be as good as people say you are. The Chargers, away in Brazil. I know it's a weird game. It's Friday night. It's in Brazil. Kind of weird. But previously, they had beaten the Chargers 7 times in a row. So you think they're able to wrap that one up, and they can't. So makes me very happy. They should beat the Giants.
Yeah.
Obviously. Well, hold on. Actually,
they should.
Maybe not. Maybe not. After what we saw from fucking time machine Russell Wilson over here, he, Cease knows about this one. He dropped 400-something yards and got the 400-point bonus in our fun league and absolutely destroyed Seattle. So who knows how it goes with that one? It's also in New York, so a little bit of a bonus for Russell Wilson there. And then Ravens. Ravens are dangerous too.
Yep.
Like they could be 0-4, which would make me so happy.
And
This
they
one
got
they
the
should clean up.
Jags.
They
Just-
should ruin the Jags, but you know.
And they got the
Yeah.
Lions.
Just looking at the schedule ahead, it's tough. I mean, like
Look
you
at
said, you've
this.
got the Lions, you've got the
The
Raiders,
Colts.
who historically they don't play well. Commanders, Bills, Broncos, Colts.
Yeah, the
That's
Colts are going to be
not an
11-0
easy
when they
schedule.
face off, so who knows?
Yeah. Listen, they will turn it around. But as we saw last year, I'm pretty sure the Chargers pushed them farther than they wanted to be pushed, right? Weren't the Chargers like 13-4 or like 12-5, something like that?
Last season, I think
12
they were.
5.
I think they were 12.
12-5. It's only a 3-game swing to, take that division, and the Chargers just got one of those 3 games. So,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Also, does that count as it did count as a home game for the Chargers? So that's
Yep.
cheating, and the Chiefs are writing the script again. But yeah, I love to see it. I'd love to see it all the way around.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nothing makes me happier.
the supporting cast is just terrible, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not good. Travis Kelce is aging and looking like a little bit. I mean, he's always been a bit of a
There's
diva,
actually no
but
run game.
Yeah,
If you look
he's,
yeah,
oh my God. Mahomes is almost 3 times the yards. That's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
but-
has more than Hunt and Pacheco combined.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. And Kareem Hunt has a fumble on the season, so the run game isn't clicking. There's been some flashes in the pass game. Like, I don't know if anybody saw the touchdown throw to Tyquan Thornton that happened. I think it was in the early fourth quarter. It was an actual bomb. But right before that, there was another play that they were looking to link up on, and Mahomes drastically overthrew Thornton. And thankfully for the Chiefs, they got that one back and made the throw on one of the next plays. But yeah, I don't know. Offense isn't clicking currently. I think
yeah.
that's
Starting
one
to
of the big things
wonder,
here.
and I'd be curious to take a look back at their wide receivers coach and their offensive coordinator and the continuity there, because I feel like in recent years, all we've been saying is, man, the Chiefs receivers are kind of bums, huh? And they've had some decent names there. And especially since, oh my God, I'm being stupid. D-Hop, right? Yeah, D-Hop went there, looked like a bum. Now he's catching
Mhm.
passes from Lamar, absolute
Like
bombs.
Vintage D Hop.
Does he have 2 TDs each game? He
Yeah,
got 2 last
he-
game. Did he get 2 against the Bills?
No, I think
He had
he's
one.
One.
He's had one in both games. I'm pretty sure.
He got 2 last game, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty
Did he?
sure I watched
Okay.
that. Yeah. But to just an instant click, I know Lamar's an elite quarterback, but something doesn't feel right. All right, he did get 1 TD against the Browns. I swear I saw him catch 2. Maybe it got called back. Or maybe he just was tackled right in front. I forget, but he's an impact player, and it's interesting,
Yeah, the Chiefs aren't able to do anything with him, and Lamar's got him looking like his 2015 self out there.
Yeah,
And surely it comes down to schemes. Surely.
It has to, yeah.
so yeah, we have the Chiefs 0-2. The Chargers play the Raiders tonight in another divisional game. So we'll see if the Chargers can be the only 2-0 team in the AFC West. We predicted that conference, or that division rather, to be a tough one going into the season. So early momentum for the Chargers would be huge if they were able to get this. If the Raiders win tonight, we have 3 teams 1-1, and the Chiefs will still be in last place no matter what. So
Yep.
The hole has been dug. The Chiefs got the Giants on Sunday Night Football next week, or this week that is. So we'll see. We could maybe be looking to actually hit a panic button if they happen to lose that game. It is on
Yep.
the road, and you know what? I would love to see it happen.
I want a little bit of a thought experiment here. When do you think the Chiefs wide receivers took a downturn?
I think after Tyreek Hill left, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of. Yeah, like they lost Tyreek, and yeah, I guess that would be my answer too.
That takes
It happened
so
when they
much away
drafted-
from the other receivers.
When they drafted Sky Moore, that's when everything went bad. Whatever year that was, they drafted. I think Sky
let's
Moore was
see.
a first round draft pick or like second round or something, and he just is. I don't even know if he's in the league anymore.
Okay, it's kind of close. So Sky Moore was drafted in 2022. He's actually on the Niners this
Yep,
year.
I see that.
Drafted in 2022, and then Tyreek Hill was traded in 2021. And I'm looking at the Kansas City Chiefs wide receivers coach history because I'm just curious. The current one has been there since 2023, and then the guy before him was there for the 21 and 22 seasons.
So where is he now?
Let's see. He is he's the pass game coordinator for the Chiefs right now. So I don't know. Maybe those two. Maybe there's something going on with those two.
Could
Maybe
be.
it's a bit of a conspiracy theory, but you know, you heard it here first.
Kevin has found where the rot has begun within this organization. He knows.
I'm also taking a look. It looks like offensive coordinators did change after the 2022 season as well, and you know, it's kind of been the last 3 years that Mahomes hasn't played quite as well as he did his first 3 or 4 seasons in the NFL. So maybe something's
Yeah.
happening there too.
Which, to be fair, it's like insane standards that we're holding Mahomes to. I'll acknowledge that, but
It is.
you know,
I think
he's displayed that he is inhuman.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking for some of that, you know.
Yep. Well, I think we can continue shoveling dirt on them as long as Kevin wants to, but we should probably move on to our next team. But
I'm
if we
more than happy to.
If we have a podcast a week from tonight and it's a podcast following the Giants' defeat of the Chiefs, we can dedicate the whole episode to that if you want. We'll,
Yep.
I would love that too. That would
so
be great.
let's talk about a team that has a very bittersweet beginning to the season because the Bengals have finally broken their curse of losing several games at the beginning of the season. They move on to 2-0, but at what cost? A big one, my friends.
At what cost?
So the Bengals opened their season defeating the Browns in a close game, Jaguars in a close game. We can talk about how those were even close to begin with if you want, whatever. But Joe Burrow, of course, out for several months with turf toe. I actually don't even know what turf toe is. I've heard it a bunch of times. Does anybody know in like layman's terms what that is and why it's so like harmful?
Almost positive it's just a really aggressive stubbed toe, right?
Yeah, it's essentially like damage to the ligaments in the big toe.
Okay.
It's a hyperextension of the big toe, according to Salty Cease. Our man.
So 3 months though, that's got to be just like a actual for me it's just like I guess I don't understand that I can keep someone out for
you gotta think if
3
it's
months.
ligament damage, then ligaments don't heal quickly, and toes are underrated with how much you like need them for pushing off when you throw, running, all that stuff. Yeah, I can't put your weight on it, as Cease is saying. So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah,
but
and he needs surgery too, so it must be like a full tear of the ligament if he needs surgery.
Yeah.
So coming in relief of Joe Burrow yesterday, I don't remember exactly when he got hurt, but Jake Browning got quite a bit of time in that game. Actually, like the lion's share of the passing duty. Comes in 21 for 32, 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Sacked once. So Jake Browning is someone we've seen on and off over the last couple of years because Joe Burrow is not always consistently healthy. We've seen him now play 13 games for the Bengals. The last season he played significantly. What was that? 2023. Was that when Burrow was it a knee injury that kept him out? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, that must have been an ACL tear, right?
So in that season, he completed 70% of his passes for a little under 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So the Bengals are without their MVP caliber quarterback for the next 3 months. So let's look at, just at a glance what their schedule looks like, and realistically, what are they going to look like when Burrow comes back in, I guess, what would that be, like early December, something like that?
Yeah,
it's going to be
about
December.
3 months.
Look at this stretch.
Yikes.
Brutal stretch right there.
So for audio people, I'm looking at November 27th through the 14th of December. They have the at Ravens, at Bills versus Ravens all in a row. So Burrow would likely comes back. Burrow likely comes back somewhere in that stretch, and that's just crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say best
hope
case,
he's back for the Patriots game.
Yeah, best case scenario, he's back for that game against the Ravens. I think worst case scenario, he misses that entire stretch.
Yep. So before that stretch even comes, we have the Bengals at Vikings. The Vikings, honestly, that could be a dub.
Even
JJ
with
McCarthy
Browning,
doesn't.
It's a bit of a toss-up,
Yep. If the fourth quarter of week 1, JJ McCarthy shows up, then the Vikings will probably win that game. But I don't know. We'll see. And then they have at Denver against the Broncos. That's a tough one. At home versus the Lions. Tough game. And then they go to Lambeau against the Packers, which we'll get to in a second. We got Thursday Night Football versus the Steelers. The Steelers, I think the jury's still out on.
These two games are weird. Steelers Jets.
Yeah. It's weird in what way?
Because we watched them play and we were like, oh my God, maybe both these teams are really good. And then they just give the most dog shit performances in week 2. And it's like, okay, maybe they were both bad. So
isn't Justin Fields injured now too?
He has a concussion, I think.
Yeah, it's not looking good. So those ones are weird. They could easily, Bengals could win those games. I feel like they're probably going to play out similar to the Jags game that they just had.
And then we have versus the Bears on the 2nd, and then at Steelers versus the Patriots. So, yeah, I mean, Jake Browning could have to really show up in a big way. The good thing, I guess, if nothing else, is that he has the weapons necessary around him on the offensive side of the ball to kind of, buoy him a little bit. Obviously, you have probably the best receiver in the league. No one really argue that. T. Higgins and Chase Brown, kind of like a triple threat there. The questions become can the defense hold up? And the defense did hold the Browns to 16 points, but I think
it's the Browns.
Any other team could do that. The Jaguars, they allowed 27 points against.
They got 2 picks too, so
we'll see. If I'm a Bengals fan, I'm not feeling so great currently because there's a lot of good teams in the AFC. I mean, realistically, there's 3 teams in the AFC West that are probably going to make the playoffs, minimum of 2. You got the Bills, you got the Ravens, whatever team wins the AFC South. So, I don't know. It's tough. I like the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow. It's a bummer that something else has happened to him. Especially following the season he just had. So, we'll keep an eye on them.
It's always it's the same story. We keep saying, get this man some help. Give him an offensive line. All of his injuries have come from getting sacked. See the writing on the wall, man. This is Andrew Luck 2.0. Just protect the man. He's going to be out of the league in 2 years.
Andrew Luck, what could have been? Yeah, so that's the Bengals. I figured we should at least give them their due for starting 2-0 because I don't remember the last time they've done that. I know for a fact they didn't last year because our New England Patriots defeated them in
Yes,
week
sir.
1. It will get to them.
This
This is a
got to be the
Patriots.
weakest 2-0 we've ever seen. Like they quite literally limped to this. They got
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you look at the
What
other
was it?
2-0 teams, and
the Browns held the Bengals to 7 yards in the second half of that game,
Yeah,
and they somehow escaped with the win.
141 total yards in that game.
Like one of the worst performances of all time. They were just lucky they were playing the Cleveland Browns. So, but at least the Jags game was exciting.
let's transition over. Let's talk about. There's one more team before we get to the Patriots. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. This is a team that I put on there as well. I think it's worth talking about them not only because they're 2-0, but because they've beaten 2 of the best teams in the NFC. In pretty decisive fashion. Not like they were blowouts, but still beating the
most
Lions and the
consistent
Commanders
offense of all
2
time.
weeks in a row. So, yeah, the Packers come in. They, of course, got Micah Parsons like at the final hour before the season started. Their defense has allowed 31 points, and that includes against 2 teams whose bread and butter is their offense, the Lions and the Commanders. Of course, both these games are at home, so that obviously factors in a little bit, but still, Packers are looking good. Jordan Love on the season, 480 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and on top of that, nothing on the ground. But who needs to do anything on the ground when you have Josh Jacobs? Josh Jacobs has the second most carries in the league, 42, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Thoughts on the Packers? I think we thought they were going to be good when we first tier listed the teams a couple of weeks ago. Micah Parsons wasn't factored into our decision there. But what are your guys' takes on the Packers entering week 3?
Yeah, they're looking like one of the teams to beat right now. Their defense has become an immediate nightmare with the addition of Micah Parsons. I think I saw they had 12 quarterback hits against the Commanders with Jaden Daniels, an incredibly mobile quarterback at the helm. Although he could have possibly been injured for a significant portion of that game, but I think the defense is kind of playing on an elite level. Josh Jacobs is doing great from the running back position, and Jordan Love is playing. He's like not playing incredible like star-studded football, but he's playing very well, and I think that's exactly what you need right now with their current situation.
Yeah, I think we're genuinely looking at like it's tough to say it because the Eagles still exist, but the Packers are quite literally looking like Super Bowl favorites right now. Like they are just disgusting how they're destroying teams. Like the scoreline, I feel like doesn't really reflect how much they brutalized the Lions. Like
Yeah, it doesn't.
every single aspect of that game was completely controlled by the Packers.
Right.
I didn't get to watch the Commanders game, but the scoreline is still kind of pretty similar. It seems like look at the win percentage. Like the Commanders never stood a chance. They just it's like they just play this style of just like strangle football. Like we're going to control the game in every aspect on the most consistent level, so that way you just quite literally can't do anything about it. And they just come at you and come at you and come at you. And like, Washington got 15 points in the fourth quarter. It's like the game pretty much is like almost over by that point.
Yep.
They look disgusting right now, and I would not be surprised to see them in the Super Bowl. And I think Seattle sent me this actually, so we got to shout this out. It's like the past 4 Packers quarterbacks, I think, or no, the past 3 Super Bowl winning ones won a Super Bowl when they were 27.
Yep.
And
it was all in
here comes Jordan Love, baby.
I think it was like in their.
That's crazy.
I think it was all in their 5th or 6th season as well. I think there's some really like crazy uncanny. Yeah, I heard that same thing. So, and speaking of like the road, to the Super Bowl, I'm looking at the next batch of games in the next month and a half. Looks very winnable.
Very, very winnable.
We have at Browns on Sunday, at Dallas on Sunday Night Football on the 28th. And then they have their bye week, and then they host the Bengals, who obviously won't have Joe Burrow still. And then we're at Arizona. Arizona, they are 2-0, but they did nearly lose to the Panthers. And
they almost let the Saints tie it too.
Right.
The Cardinals are bad.
And they were at Steelers and hosting the Panthers. So actually, 4 of their away games are in this stretch, and those are all extremely winnable. And then their schedule kind of turns up in difficulty a bit in the second half of the season. We got versus Eagles, and then down the list we see the
divisional
Bears.
Games are tough. So,
Bears, yeah, whatever. But we got the Broncos, we got the Lions again.
Ravens.
So this is like, just at a glance, I could see this being like a 13-14 win team if they keep this up for sure.
Yeah, easily. I think
it could be even more.
They could be 8-0 going into that game with the Eagles.
100%.
To be honest.
100%.
And they kept it. They did play the Eagles last year, right, in the playoffs. They kept it real close.
I think they played the closest out of any team that played the Eagles.
10-22 wild card loss.
22. Yeah. Iffy. I forget that game. 10-22 could be like, it's a weird scoreline. I am kind of excited to look at that Dallas game because I want to know if kind of yet another like gauge test with same Steelers and Jets. Are the Giants and Cowboys better than we think they are, or were they just both shit? So
it's the second
more
one,
towards the
curious.
second option.
It's definitely the second one, but like how much of a degree? If the Packers roll up into Dallas and just fucking rout them like 50-0, I would love that.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
All right, there we go. The other thing that I just, before I forgot it, I needed to point this out. I just have to say it.
Sure.
The Cardinals the Saints should have tied that game against the Cardinals because, oh my God, that was the most criminal ruling on that Chris Olave catch that was ruled not a catch.
I didn't see the actual footage of it, but
disgusting by the refs. That was horrible. I think. Let me see if I can just find the link real quick. I found a video for it, and it was, oh my God, it was so bad. Let's see.
Well, while Kevin's looking,
I'll work on this on the side.
Yeah. While Kevin's looking for it, we can move on to. We can still look at the clip, but I think we should move on and talk about our New England Patriots as the final team that we wanted to cover. Our fifth team here. I think in the next podcast we can tier list and in my DMs, you say.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll put this on real quick, and hopefully
copyright man doesn't back it up a little bit.
Hopefully Mr. YouTube doesn't get mad at us. Oh, I did see this. I remember now. Yeah, they called that not a catch.
Not a catch.
Actually criminal.
That is the most caught ball of all time. It doesn't even hit the ground.
The ball never touches it. He regains control of it incredibly quickly.
So I'm not saying that he didn't catch it, but like you're gonna tell me that Julian Edelman catches that pass against the Falcons and you rule that clear as day, and then
for real
they call that not a catch. Yeah. So okay, I feel for the Saints there.
It's crazy. And at that point, let's see, it was a minute 30 and they would have been at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, that's tough.
But instead they had to do it all again and waste more time, and then they didn't have the time. So yeah, I'm still shocked about that. It's gonna live rent free in my head for about 3 years.
So you're telling me that the Cardinals are the fakest 2-0 team in the league?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like I said, they nearly lost to the Panthers. They allowed like 350 passing yards to Bryce Young.
Yeah,
that was a close game. I didn't see the entire thing, but I watched the final stretch.
Yeah.
But win's a win. NFC West is going to be really competitive, so they should be thanking their lucky stars. They're 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
So a team that isn't 2-0 and should be is the New England Patriots. The new look Patriots entering the season, new offensive coordinator, new everything, new head coach. A lot of new things coming in for the team. We have said this many times, but we are all Patriots fans here at 4QWI. Our bias is very obvious. I think we try to be realistic about things, but 1-1. They lose to the Raiders in week 1 in a game that was very winnable, just kind of sloppy. And we beat the Dolphins yesterday in crazy circumstances. I was watching the game, as I'm sure you guys were. Saw the punt return for a touchdown from Miami and lost my mind. And then immediately after, Antonio Gibson rips back like a 91-yard kickoff return. Sure, why not? Why not? What do you guys have to say about the New England Patriots as of right now? How do we feel about the team? Are things coming together the way we wanted? Are we still clinging on to wild card hopes, or do you think this team isn't ready quite yet?
I think I still got to see a bit more to make an absolute call on that. I think as of right now, they're probably still on the outside looking in. Drake May played a phenomenal game this past Sunday, which was good to see because his week 1, second half specifically was a little bit rough, but the offense especially looked pretty good against Miami. Got to give Ramondre Stevenson his flowers too. He had an incredible game. I think career-long catch for Ramondre Stevenson, as well as a career-long pass for Drake May on the same play. So I think I'm still tempering my expectations a little bit, but there was a lot of promising things from this last game.
It makes me wonder when the last time they cracked 30 points was, because if you told me that they didn't do it last season, I would believe you. Nor the season prior.
I bet it's some random game.
I'm sure there's a game last season we forgot about. Let's see. So, nope, they scored 25 points max last year. That was against the Jets. And then we'll move on to the season prior. We scored 29 points max in 2023, our final season with Mac Jones.
Really?
I think it's about to show us the Lions game where we destroyed them at home.
No, we actually only scored 29. So we have scored, other than yesterday against the Dolphins, we've scored 30 points plus once since 2022.
Yeah, that's tough.
2021 was our first season with Mac Jones. Offense
54.
Yeah, what happened here? I'm actually shocked that we went 10-7 with Mac Jones as I remember. I'm going off the rails. I turned this game off against the Bills at halftime. I couldn't do it. I don't know about you guys.
I watched every second.
27-3.
I painfully did as well.
I turned the game off. I don't know.
I am one of those people who I will never leave the game early. I will never turn the game off early. I don't know. I stick with my team, especially if I'm at the game. When I see people leaving early, I'm like, bro, you paid like $200 to be at this game for some NFL games.
I remember saying that when we went to this is so off topic, but Kev and I and a few other our friends went to Tampa. We saw the Bucs play the Saints on Monday Night Football, and I remember I think the Bucs ended up winning the game, and it was it took like a signature Brady fourth quarter drive to win it. And I remember seeing people getting up and leaving, and that was my first NFL game, and I'm like, you guys suck. You don't know who you have as your quarterback.
They were leaving at halftime.
I know.
It was crazy.
I know.
Tampa does not have real fans. Shout out to everyone in Tampa. Fuck you. You're not real fans. It was Tom Brady versus the Saints, Monday Night Football, divisional game.
Yep.
That stadium maybe got 2/3 full.
Yep.
Which is
That's
crazy.
Insane. That was a close game too. Down to the wire.
It was so cool to be
time.
there. So I'm in the middle, Kev. I will turn off the TV sometimes, but I wouldn't leave early. So I'm in the middle. But anyways, returning to the Patriots now, we scored 33 points, plus 30 for the first time since 2022 against the Dolphins. Divisional game.
I love this graph. where do you think they return the punt and then we
Yeah.
return
Uh-huh.
the kick?
That's
I
insane.
wonder where. I mean, my thoughts on the Pats right now is I'm kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt a little because I think the pass rush looks way better than it has for the past like 4 years.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think the secondary is way worse than we were expecting it to be, but I think the secondary also relies on schemes a lot and the fact that our number one corner is out. Like the
Yeah.
fact,
Who's like a top corner in the league? Yeah, that makes a big
yeah,
difference.
just having a guy that you can toss on an island and be like, mark their number one, don't do anything else, completely changes the game. They definitely felt that against the Raiders because, I mean, Brock Bowers is just tearing us apart. You have Christian Gonzalez to get out there. Brock Bowers maybe has like half the yards that he got. In general, though, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because, I mean, Jay called it. The Raiders are supposedly going to be better than they were last year. Um, and then, but like, I look at the Raiders and they have they have some pretty decent weapons there, you know?
They do.
Like Bowers, Jonty, and, Myers is the third. Not bad. Geno Smith slinging it around. That's pretty good.
Yep.
You look at the Dolphins, if Tua's not seeing stars, their offense should be one of the best in the league. They have insane wide receivers. So, as far as, team matchups, I feel like they should have won both these games. But just looking at the offenses they had to face, they should have done better with the Raiders. But I don't blame them for letting the Dolphins put up 27. Like, it's the Dolphins should be putting up 27 every game, you know? The fact that the Colts held them down, like, praise the Colts. But I'm curious to see. I think the Steelers is going to be a very good pulse check here where, where exactly are we at? It's kind of like a Raiders 2.0 type game where I think the Steelers could come out slinging, they could not. It really depends. The Steelers are really weird looking right now, but if the Pats can win that game and especially decisively, I think we have a real shot at the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
But even, outside looking in, that could be like, Bengals last year. Comes down to the last snap pretty much. So
Yeah.
I think there's still playoff contention for sure.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it too, like aside from like the Steelers will be a very good pulse check. After that, aside from the Bills, the schedule isn't too bad
It's
until you
very
kind of
winnable.
go to
Panthers
Tampa
winnable.
Bay.
Saints winnable. Titans winnable. Browns winnable. Even the Falcons. The Falcons are kind of down lower than they should be right now.
Yeah. And after that, after the Bucks, you got the Jets. It could be a really interesting season.
Bengals, if Burrow's not back, who
Yep.
knows?
Giants, a couple of tough matchups after that, but
Yeah.
then you end the season with the Jets and the Dolphins at home.
It's they have a real shot. It's just I also gave them benefit of the doubt with the Raiders specifically because, like you said, completely knew everything. And this is where they had to try and tie it all together. So, first game of the season, getting some of the kinks out, fine with that. Dolphins started to look a lot more well-rounded, Secondary was still kind of shit, but like I said, benefit of the doubt with the wide receivers they had to face. If they can come in and they can lock down pretty much DK Metcalf and who else? We're starting to talk about something, right?
Who else? You asked. I don't
Do they
even.
still have
They got Calvin Austin is their number 2 receiver. That's who it is.
Yeah, like not they don't have the most impressive team, Those are very winnable matchups. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. And I haven't kept up, but the Steelers usually have one of the better offensive lines in the league. I don't know how they are this year, but that would be a good eye test for our defensive line. especially since those guys are humming right now.
Indeed. Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead, Jay.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's nice to see us actually getting pressure on quarterbacks on defense like that. It feels like it's been forever since we've seen that.
I mean, a sack ended the game yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a sight to see. Like everybody, I think Spec said this in the chat, but like he instantly said worth every penny, and so did one of the commentators during the game, and it was like, yeah, sometimes you got to spend money to, you know, to get the pieces in there. So
Yeah.
There it is. I was curious, and I was like, I wonder if I looked up so far through the first 2 games, sack leaders, number 1, New England Patriots with 9.
How about that?
Packers are
That's
second with
crazy.
8, Rams with 8, Saints with 8. Wow. And then Falcons with 7. But Patriots leading the league. They're getting to the quarterback, which is like, thank God we finally are.
Here's your action update, by the way. Monday Night Football live. Less than 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Buccaneers lead 14-10 over Houston.
There you go.
There you go. Ibuka has another touchdown for the Bucks. Look at him go.
We love this.
He's crazy.
Those 3 and their faces up there, we love that for my fantasy. All of my leagues, we love that.
The one thing I want to say about the Patriots, and this isn't just because I have them in fantasy, but I think we got to get Travion Henderson online. I think that's one missing piece here that adds a.
Yep.
We've incorporated him a little bit in the past game. He actually got less work last night than he did in week 1. Antonio Gibson, I think, outsnapped him, which was interesting. But
I also think that was just like Ramondre was cooking, and we were like, you gotta feed him.
Yeah, Ramondre was having like a career game.
Yeah. Which it's also maybe they just identified Dolphins are not good with bruisers, so let's feed Ramondre.
Yep.
Henderson a little less. You know, he's the quick, speedy guy. Let's bring him back a little bit so that we can bring him out in volume for next week. Maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, I'm not as a fantasy owner, I'm not worried about Henderson, but I'm shifting the conversation. But he's going to be on my bench next week. But the Patriots have noted, McDaniel said that they want to get him going. They want to exploit his talent, his explosiveness.
Yes,
so, all that to say, I think that if we can get that going, and just kind of add more dimensions to our offense, we're going to look like a more complete team. And I think if yesterday was any indication, we're doing that more and more every week. So yeah, I agree. Steelers are going to be a good test. I think the Steelers are one of the harder games we have in the first half of the season, and that'll be a good way to test kind of where we are holistically as a team. So,
yeah,
we'll see. Okay, so we've talked about the Patriots. I think the last thing that we wanted to quickly go over, because we're a little bit over an hour now, is just maybe some of the injuries that have happened. We've touched on a couple of them, but some of the more notable things that have been going on in the NFL and what's been shaking up the league a little bit and how these teams might be affected. So we talked about the Bengals. We talked about Joe Burrow. Another quarterback that we haven't spoken about yet, and we'll talk about him quickly, is Brock Purdy of the 49ers. He is down with an injury, which is what? I don't remember. I clicked the wrong person.
It's whatever. I can't remember what it is, but whatever it is, it's not like too serious because he could be back next week. If not, probably week 4.
I can't find what it is. I remember seeing, it said he could miss weeks, but that was 4 days ago.
Apparently, also turf toe.
Oh, different kind of turf toe.
Toe and left shoulder.
Salty in the chat.
So, I think one of the things that we should point out as Patriots fans is Mac Jones balled out versus the Saints yesterday.
Did.
Look at this stat line: 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think 1 interception on the day. No interceptions. Look at that. So maybe Mac Jones is going to be another quarterback that gets unlocked when he leaves a shit franchise.
The magic of Kyle Shanahan as well.
Yeah, there's the magic of Kyle Shanahan. So the 49ers are without Purdy for an unknown amount of time. Could be a couple more weeks. It could have just been this 1 week. But next up for them is divisional game against the Cardinals on Sunday. Were you going to say something, Kev?
They better win. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about, like, we were talking about quarterbacks that leave and then pop off. I never once thought that it was Mac Jones's fault. I genuinely, like, the whole time I was like, we fucked him over. Like, we did this to him. Even if he looked
We
shit,
absolutely did.
we did it to him. So I would be so happy to see him, ball out for the 49ers. Maybe he gets a deal with like some other team after this year and he's able to be their starter, a little Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold type style. I guess this would be more akin to like Baker Mayfield. He hopped around to a couple being a backup and then someone said, what, we liked what we saw from the backup, come be our starter. So I'm hoping he succeeds. I'm still a Mac Jones fan. I think he's a good quarterback. It's just, God, did we ruined him.
Yeah,
So he needs to heal.
having a pretty decent rookie year under Josh McDaniels, and then immediately having Matt Patricia be your offensive coordinator, like,
Oh yeah,
the Patriots did
and
Mac Jones so dirty.
we don't even need to mention the offensive line. Like, my
Yeah,
God,
horrendous.
only Joe Burrow's offensive line it was worse than ours. Like, Jesus.
We love you, Mac Jones. That's the takeaway here. We wish you well.
Yeah,
as
I
you,
hope
Yeah.
he
still has a
continues
job,
to play well.
I hope he
good for
sees
him.
this.
Poor guy. He went from the Patriots to the Jaguars, backing up Trevor Lawrence, and he played like half the season last year in a tough
Did
situation.
pretty well, it wasn't
he-
horrible.
He went like 3-5 in his starts or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't.
and that's what the Jags. They were bad last year. They're real bad last year.
So now he's in a better situation. I know we weren't particularly high on the 49ers this season, but yeah, another quarterback that got injured in this past week is Jaden Daniels, who is considered day to day with a knee injury. I don't remember when this happened in the game because I didn't catch it. Do you guys have any further info on Jaden Daniels over here and what's going on with him? Did you see
Not a
what happened?
lot, other than that he is day to day. I
Sprained
mean,
knee.
he got beat up by the Packers. Like I said earlier, 12 hits on him. Just a rough game for him, I think. But oh yeah, he got hit on his left knee with Javon Bullard's helmet.
First play of the fourth quarter. So, yeah, it says he got an MRI and no major damage was revealed, but yeah, I guess there's a chance that they might err on the side of caution and rest him for a week. I mean, looking at the upcoming Commanders schedule, you got Raiders, Falcons, Chargers in a row. If you're gonna try to not risk the injury, the Raiders aren't the worst team to sit him for. Out of curiosity, behind him is Marcus Mariota, 11-year vet. I cannot believe he's been here.
Be interesting.
So I mean, you have, if nothing else, you have a serviceable quarterback for a game if you need against the Raiders. But that's Jaden Daniels. Any other injuries that we haven't spoken about that are like very, very noteworthy? I can't think of any, but
I think those are the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Let's talk about kickers. Younghoe Koo of the Falcons.
You want to talk about kickers? How about we got 2 60-yard field goals across the first 2 weeks, which both result in 400-point bonuses in the greatest fantasy league of all time.
We didn't talk about this. We were talking about the Patriots, but Andy Borregales might need to be out the door. I don't know. He's a rookie, and that it is what it is sometimes, but
it's crazy that he redeemed himself after missing a couple extra points, and then immediately biffed it on the next play.
He boofed the kickoff.
Sure did. That was
I was looking away from the TV, and Morgan actually noted that she was like, I don't remember what she said, but she told me. I looked up, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's landing zone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It just feels like Chad Ryland all over again, and those were dark times. And Chad Ryland actually has a job still, which is crazy.
Chad Ryland is one of the best kickers in the NFL right now.
Wait, what?
Dead ass. Yeah. He went to the Cardinals and he made like 10 field goals in a row or something, and like he didn't miss a single, and they were all over 40 yards. He was
4 for 4
crushing it last year.
50 plus,
28 for 32 last year.
That's crazy.
He was insane last year. and I was crying. And now he's, still doing pretty good. 4 for 5 for a start to the year. That could easily turn into another like 80+% year. Oh, that's crazy.
So
Shout out Chad Ryland though for letting us get Drake May, TBH.
Yeah, that's true.
And then yeah, you're right actually. And then yeah, I mentioned Young Hui Koo because it's just a funny thing with Spect because he names his fantasy football team after him. So Koo started the season, who by the way, I'm pretty sure was the most accurate kicker of all time among qualified kickers for like a while. And I'm not making that up. That was like a known thing. And I wonder if that's still the case on his Wikipedia. Because I knew this like as a fact.
It's probably if you go back to his thing.
Leaders all time. I know I spelled that wrong, but
it's definitely dropped. Oh, he's 14.
He had some
Tucker, right? Yeah.
Well, if you go back to his player profile, I bet it was in 2021. Because look at that field goal percentage. 50, but it's only 3 for 6. Then he's 88, and then he's in the 90s.
Go by year. So he was hold on. Is Football Reference going to cooperate through 2024 through 2023? He was number 1. Okay, so he was 4th in 2023. 2022, he was... Yeah, he was like number 2. So anyways, he's obviously falling down. Go to 2021. Yeah, so we'll check 2020. He probably was at that point. No.
There we go. No.
He's 3rd. So, anywho, yeah, so John Parker Romo, who was actually on the Patriots practice squad, is now the kicker for Atlanta, and he was perfect for everything the other night. So, Youngway, if you need a job, New England's calling. I
shout out.
Not mind that.
Shout out field goal percentage though for kickers all time. My favorite stat ever when Harrison Butker went on the IR, I think last year, right? And Justin Tucker and Eddie Pinedo, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't speak Spanish. They both went on like a 3 to 4 week tear of just the worst kicking you've ever seen. And Harrison Butker went from 3 to 1 while being on the IR. So it's just one of the funniest things to me that he did nothing and managed to go up.
That's good.
There's a lot of current kickers here, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to talk about kickers because it just we could have this discussion, but it's just like it feels like not an easy job, but it is like at least you should be able to hit extra points routinely.
Yeah.
What is it? It's like 34 yards away or something like that. I don't remember the exact distance, but like I know that they moved it back, and that caused kind of a domino effect a few seasons ago. A lot of kickers started missing it because it just all of a sudden is a new thing to get used to. But oftentimes what you see is like a missed extra point makes a difference between having like a 4-point lead or a field goal being able to tie a game, that sort of thing. It changes the context of the game so much. And when you miss multiple, like Andy did yesterday, we had to hit a 2-point conversion yesterday to make sure that a field goal wouldn't win the game.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the Chiefs. Butker missed that field goal yesterday, lost by 3.
So, yeah, what we're saying is NFL teams, we're interested. Give us 1 week, and we'll get out there. So, okay, I just want to talk about kickers for a second. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we head out of here? We didn't have much else on the agenda necessarily. We did kind of briefly have the idea of like talking about 0-2 and 2-0 teams. Do you guys? Why don't we close out with this? I will lead this. I'll participate, but let's just go over each 2-0 team and 0-2 team and give me like a 1 sentence maximum like gut reaction to that team. How's that sound? And we'll close it out there.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
Good.
All right, Buffalo Bills 2-0.
Super Bowl.
They're the Bills.
AFC Championship game minimum. 2-0. Cincinnati. Actually, no, let's go 2-0. All the 2-0 teams. Cincinnati Bengals.
Limping.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
What? you said
Incredibly
limping.
unfortunate.
Yeah, maybe next year. Indianapolis Colts. 2-0.
Daniel Jones. Because there can only be one.
Yeah, Indiana Jones, baby. I'm a believer.
Danny Dimes. Philadelphia Eagles 2-0.
Same as always.
Evil Empire.
Yeah, pretty much expected at this point.
2-0 Green Bay Packers.
Super Bowl? The question mark?
Opposing team's nightmare could be one of the teams to beat.
Power rankings number 1 question mark.
Mm.
We have 3 2-0 NFC West teams. 49ers.
Yes? Like, I don't know what this one. It's kind of
Still
weird.
want to see some more, I think.
Yeah, I need to see more.
Playoff bound if CMC healthy. Arizona Cardinals 2-0. Beat a real team,
Fake.
then we're talking.
Yeah, fake.
Yeah, fake AF.
And then we got the Los Angeles Rams 2-0.
Consistent?
Will probably be the team that wins that division.
Yeah.
Good as long as Stafford is healthy.
Yeah.
All right. 0-2 teams. New York Jets. Oof.
Fuck them.
The Jets.
Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck.
Oh, my microphone just fell. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. I think it was. Miami Dolphins 0-2. Sucks to suck.
Sucks to
Yikes.
suck.
It's lonely in the middle.
It's lonely in the middle.
Cleveland Browns 0-2. As expected.
This is. I'm gonna change it here though. Defensive yards leader in the NFL.
It's true.
You're crazy.
Garbage. Just absolute garbage.
Okay. The Texans are currently down by 4 against the Buccaneers as we speak. Do we think that the Texans are going to lose this game? Do we want to call them 0-2?
Nah.
Okay, we'll skip the
either one
Texans.
can win that game. Yeah.
I know. Just for fun.
Yeah.
Okay. 0-2 Tennessee Titans.
Needs a new wide receiver coach.
Expected. Very expected.
Cam Ward doing his best. Had some tough games. We'll see. That was all one sentence with semicolons. New York Giants 0-2.
What the fuck?
Russ is back? Question mark?
Yeah, shout out Russell Wilson.
Chicago Bears 0-2.
The Bears.
Yeah, the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears. New Orleans Saints 0-2.
That was a catch. Fucked by the refs.
I doubled down on that, but also not a great team.
Yeah, but yeah, they're still not a good team. But that was a catch.
Congrats on your 5th overall pick in 2026. Carolina Panthers 0-2.
Never gonna win anything with Bryce Young at quarterback.
Yeah. The project might be dead.
Teteroa Macmillan looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. All right, boys.
Yeah.
That is the end of this episode of the podcast. We'll call it there. If we can get everybody together on Monday, I know I should be available. I think week 3 is a good time to start power ranking. Sample size has grown quite a bit, so I think maybe we can plan to do that and make that kind of the meat of that episode. So those of you listening, be on the lookout for that. Hopefully we'll be live and able to do that. We got a couple of juicy games. Let's look at the slate to close out here for week 3. Some upcoming matchups of note just at a glance. Other than the Patriots and Steelers, as a fan, what do we got? We got the Rams and Eagles. That's pretty juicy. Broncos
Raiders,
and Jags, or Chargers rather.
Is kind of there.
Raiders, Commanders potentially.
Could be interesting. Depends on. Oh my God, I'm looking like Jaden Daniels. He's back.
Yes. Yeah, we have the AFC West matchup. Broncos and Chargers is going to be a fun one to keep an eye on. Then we got the Chiefs and Giants. We got the 2-0 battle in the NFC West with the Cardinals and the 49ers. So we got a couple of fun games.
Has a chance to be one of the fucking greatest games of all time.
Which one?
The Giants Chiefs. Only one result will lead to be absolute. I'll hang up the box score on my wall and oh my God.
I am very much. Russell Wilson has 618 pass yards. Is he leading the league? He has to be. He is.
Yeah, he is.
Look at the top 2.
Yeah, I know.
Russell Wilson and Daniel Jones. Who would have thunk it?
It's insane.
Oh, man.
It's also crazy that Jonathan Taylor was able to overcome Derrick Henry after that fucking monster game that Henry
I know.
Had. Yep.
And then they blow a team out and he just doesn't get yards? Question mark? Like,
so, yeah, we have a pretty decent slate. I'd say there's a few less exciting games. I felt like week 2 was packed with a lot of good matchups.
Yeah.
This week we got Packers and Browns, meh. Colts and Titans is meh. Bengals and Vikings, meh. So, we got a decent slate, but not the best.
What's
one
Monday night again?
Monday night is going to be the Lions and Ravens. Ooh. I forgot to scroll down to even see that. So we got a good one to close out the week.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yep. So that's a big prove-it game for both of those teams. I'm curious to see 100%. How that goes. That one's definitely going to be... Yeah. I was going to say it's going to be a must-watch. We'll be podcasting that night, but we'll probably be wrapping up by the time the game kicks off because it's 8:15 instead of 7 like tonight. Yeah. So
very concerning for the fact that Jaden Daniels is hurt and Jared Goff is the one on my bench. I know he just popped off, but now I'm looking at a Ravens defense and I'm pretty scared.
Well, I wish you luck.
I wish myself luck too.
Yeah, we all should. All right, boys. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you for another fun episode. Those of you in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. Turf toe is rare, but it's crazy that it happened twice. Thank you for the Salty Seas action update on the turf toe. Hyperextension of the toe. Wishing you a speedy recovery, Joe Burrow and not Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy. So, all right. Next one's going to be hopefully in a week. We'll see you then. Until then, it's been 4 quarters of a whole idiot signing off. Take care and peace. Go Patriots.
Go Pats.
Go Pats.
Goodbye.